do you feel if the next generation is getting increasingly closer in ability?
I mean, they're young, so they should, but in classical formats, yes. I think in faster formats, it's only Alireza who's remotely close. It remains to be seen if Arjun is quite 2800 strength yet, but Gukesh is really, really good. I think he's by far the best.
Are we expecting rook b8? A different approach. He puts the queen on b6. Watch out, if you move that knight, rook takes pawn becomes a reality because the pawn on b2 is pinned.
Yeah, indeed. That's why I think the knight is going to remain on b3. But again, Alireza has to calculate very quickly here what happens after rook f7, rook b7, 4 seconds. This is not the situation you want to be in. With so little time on the clock. Now this rook has to join the attack, but again, you can't do it now. Look at this. The pawn on h7 is under attack in some lines, so the rook on f5 is pinned to defend the king.
I would have blundered that for sure. Queen takes pawn. That is full board awareness, and you need that. The rook on f5, you very nicely pointed out. I love it how you call it pinned right now.
Right, so Magnus, maybe he missed it from afar. No, okay, he's going to go all in. Knight g4 here. Now, immediately there's some tricks with knight h6, e takes on f3. Okay, what's going on here? Can you take on e3? 3 seconds?
Luckily, the bishop on e3 has that h6 square in control. Alireza now attacking the h7 pawn with his own rook. He's playing on 3 seconds.
Wow, knight a1 with... Oh, this is panic. Okay, this was a panic move, knight a1. I think he almost blundered. I mean, he almost lost on time. Knight on a1 cannot be the correct move. And suddenly, just like that, evaluation bar goes in favor for Magnus. Magnus, again, does it. Of course, the game still continues, but how does he do it, Tanya?
He does it over and over again. Magnus Carlsen doesn't only have the unique ability to convert games flawlessly, but turn around difficult position, difficult games, and find a way to win those. Right now, Alireza with 2 seconds, a position that suddenly looks busted for him. The f-pawn queening, immense pressure on b2. We saw the shake of his head. He's wondering as well, how do you do it, Magnus?
Yeah, and now just like that, it is Magnus who has extra... What is it? Extra exchange. The knight at a1 is completely off the game. I was trying to pinpoint maybe there's going to be queen b3 fancy move at some point, but Magnus decided not to do it now. There's no need for that. Maybe now play rook f3. Make sure that this trick is going to go through. Yeah, Magnus is going to do it. But again, I mean, 15 seconds, he can still misplay this. The king is weak. He needs to be tactically alert. Queen b2. Just like that.
And he goes for a very practical choice where he believes this rook with 2 knights, because look at that knight on a1. It's out of the game. It needs some time to coordinate itself. And the g-pawn is going to start rolling down the board very quickly.
Yeah, this probably is winning game. This poor knight on a1 is not doing anything here. Magnus pulls the king closer to the defense. g3, rook f2, g2. Very easy plan. Well, in the meantime, Alireza has to figure out how to bring this knight in the game. There you go. I think rook f2 is about to happen. Knight e1. Maybe there's some chance for a fortress for Firouzja. The bar says no, there's no chance.
Comes close to that pawn on a6. Magnus was down a piece. He's just turned this whole game around move by move. Now g2 is coming in. He's going to have 2 extra pawns as well. He's going to pick up that knight on e3. He does it.
No, apparently there's a win. There was a min. So, wait, it's a mate. Rook a to c7, rook c6. No, that was a mate on the board. No. Oh my goodness, it just happened so quickly.
A check on the 7th rank, the king coming in further to cement the attack. Black is close to getting checkmated. But there is the threat of rook h6 for king f6. So still everything under control. Pushes the king back. Players playing on seconds.
Now Magnus is going to run back and try to collect the pawn here. Rook. Again, watch out for the mate threats here. King e7. This king might be the mate threat here. So rook c7, bishop d7. Super, super tense moment here. Both of the players have their passed pawns. And yet the engine says black is somehow slightly better here. This is crazy.
Not anymore, and it's a race one more time. The b pawn is coming in, the g3 pawn is hanging, and Magnus misses something, and the f pawn moves forward. It is still absolutely crazy. Whoa.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful Lorenzo check. There you go. I think Alireza now, is he going to win it? Where do you put the king? That's it. He's running. Magnus
Not
is
on the
running out
last
of checks. He's going to lose.
Oh my goodness. And Magnus
That's
missed
it.
it because it's black that's about to checkmate. And Alireza gets the job done.
So Alireza is trying the tricks, but I think the game is about to finish in a draw in any move. So I think it's something like 10 moves or less. Shouldn't take any longer. So Alireza is running out of ideas, and of course he's going to fight it out until the very end, until the system is going to announce it's a draw. Another attempt to get the king on f6.
Just move the rook to a point where you can give a check or stop it with king g7. He does it with the king. Once again, no entry for Alireza.
No ideas. I think he has no ideas here. All right, there you go. At the worst possible moment, what's done is done. If you make such a mistake against the greatest player in the history of chess, these are the consequences.
And Alireza keeps getting more and more frustrated on the camera. He's not able to find his way through. Immediately goes, in the end, goes with the idea of bishop f8, a check, the king comes up. But look at the discoordination, that bishop on f8, the rook on h8, not playing a part. Where is the breakthrough? How do you open more files and more lines for activity here? Magnus knows that there has to be a way. He's about to show us.
Yeah, so maybe bishop e3. I think what makes perfect sense here, Tanya, you try to include all the pieces in the attack, also opening up the position with d takes on c4. Considering that black cannot open up the d file, there's going to be rook d1 with a lot of consequences here. So I'm thinking moves like bishop e3, d takes on c4, knight e4. I think right now Magnus is looking for a kill.
And he's got about a minute to find it. To find the precise way forward that keeps the advantage, because the position is so beautiful for him. Black's pieces lack complete coordination. He decides to open up the lines, takes on c4, and I'm expecting him to do some rerouting of his pieces. Magnus has this incredible ability to place his pieces on the right squares.
I think bishop e3. No, knight e2. All right. Makes
Hits
also
the
perfect
bishop.
sense.
A lot of sense. If you get to take it, open up the D line, that king on D7 will get checkmated. It's been a scary story for Alireza's king on in the center of the board.
Maybe remove the bishop and play bishop g7.
How do you defend this position with 8 seconds on the clock?
Yeah, you have to bring the rook final in the game. Bishop g7 is essentially the only move that gives black some chances. So c4 has got to be moved for Magnus here, ripping apart the defenses here. c4 is played. Bishop g7 probably is also going to follow. I already see there could be some queen sacrifice here. C takes on d5 and d takes on c6. Looks very fancy. Maybe it's not necessary. Just play queen a2, but they just can't resist sacrificing the queen here. Can I do it? I mean, Magnus is sure tempted. Nah, he decided not to do it.
He instead plays a safer approach, queen a4, pinning that knight too much on the line to sacrifice your queen, and then you don't need to do it. It's such a beautiful position as is. Alireza's rook still where it started, hasn't made a single move, and that's what's making all the difference right now. 2 seconds on the clock and a very difficult position to hold. But we've seen miracles happen today.
Yeah, indeed. So Magnus is still needs to find a clear victory here. Did he miss bishop e2 here? No, he looks a bit nervous here. Rook b1 threatening rook b7. Alireza's fighting back.
And Magnus now under 5 seconds as well. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
He's missing moves. He's also missing moves here. There's a lot of nerves. Queen f2, check here. What happens here? Oh,
he
my
missed it.
goodness.
Look at Magnus. He reacts. But Alireza misses something as well. Queen b7 on the board.
This is complete chaos, Tanya, here. Now, I think Magnus again is winning.
The bar is going up and down like my heart rate right now.
That's a mate. I think e6 is a checkmate on the board with a pawn. Bishop f8, queen g6. Where's the mate? Where's the mate? There's got to be a mate already here. Rook b7, it makes perfect sense at some point. Include the rook in the game. The players are playing basically with 5 seconds. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Alireza with 2 seconds. I don't even know how he's making these moves and staying alive right now. The knight comes on to defend. Queen f7 is a big threat. And Alireza, he resigns after e6. Magnus with his hands in the air. What a crazy match. What a crazy fight. In the end, the world #1 prevails in once again a fiery game of chess.
What is the secret? What is the secret? How do you find these resources? Is it resourcefulness? Is it luck? What is it? Because you sometimes do get in trouble and it's still not enough for very good players to beat. So how do you come back?
The thing about Alireza is that he spends a lot of time. So He's very good with little time, but you cannot be perfect all the time then when you're surprised. So that gives you a little bit of a chance to get it back in the game. And part of my strategy there was try and force him to use time so we could get into those situations like where ideally I'd have a little bit more time myself, which I had, which I sometimes had and sometimes didn't.